always interested in the actual physical place of where they grew up or had a lot of their formative years, and also some people have just moved around and moved around and moved around. So just give me a little bit of a chart of the places that you spent your childhood years.
Well, you're right, because I think it's completely forms who you are, right? 100% it does. And I was born in Charlottesville, Virginia. My dad was just graduating law school at UVA. My mom and my dad moved to Dayton, Ohio, and that's where I had my childhood. Till the time I was 12, 11, maybe 11, 12. I lived in Dayton, Ohio, and at that time, not that it's not now, but at that time it was a really thriving. Dayton has been hit really hard by all kinds of things. I mean, but not the least of which was, when was the last time you saw a cash register? Well, in those days, NCR, National Cash Register, was in Dayton.
Oh,
and
okay.
So it was 150,000 jobs.
Oh,
so
wow.
Dayton was really popping. There was a vibrant theater community. There was summer stock coming through. When I decided I wanted
Were you
to
doing theater at that time when you were a little kid?
I started when I was like 8, 9.
Oh, wow, okay.
And, so little kid parts were available in college and stock and things like that. And, grew up, playing kick the can at night and, with all these Irish Catholic families on our blocks. Each family had like 11 kids. So you would just run amok with your friends all day long and all. It was great. It was fantastic. And then when my parents split up, my mom remarried, and my stepfather lived in California where he was a doctor. And that's why we moved directly from Dayton to Malibu, which was a huge culture shock. Malibu, California in 76 was a lot different than Dayton, Ohio in 76.
Sure. Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
Ironically,
I'm picturing like Ryan O'Neal on the beach and stuff. Yeah,
dude. Oh, Ryan O'Neal, Gary Busey, Nick Nolte stinking like an elephant, just with his pants down below his butt, like carrying cases of Coors out to his car. I mean, it was.
Was it specifically in Point Dume?
Yes, it was Point Dume.
Wow, what's so fascinating about that to me? For people that don't know, there is Malibu, and Malibu is a fairly large area. I mean, it covers I don't know how many miles it kind of goes up the coast, but it's
22 miles.
Big. How big is it?
22 miles.
22 miles, right? And then there's one specific area called Point Dume, which for whatever reason, I've never had just maybe 10 years ago, we finally got a little place in LA, but we, all through our marriage and all through my years before I was married, I never had a place to live in LA when I would work in LA. So I was constantly going from either furnished, hotels or always places that would take my dog, or rented houses. And for some reason, for 3 movies, I think in a row, I rented a house in Point Dume. And that is a combination, I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, of really magical but really strange kind of
brother.
vibe.
Dude. Okay, so I grew up with Sean Penn, and Sean and I, whenever we see each other, kind of clutch each other like, dude, do you remember when, like we're survivors of a conflagration? I mean, the stuff that, okay, I don't know if you have a great story, a great song in you that one day you'll crack. For me, it is the story of growing up on Point Dume in the mid 70s and 80s. By the way, there's a podcast about it.
Is there really?
Yes. What is that, guys? What's the name of the podcast that we did? The producer's going to tell me.
Oh, you were a guest on it?
Yeah, but it's about growing up. It's about Malibu in the 80s.
Okay. Have you ever thought about developing that into a story or a film or writing a book about it? Or
I've tried. There's a lot of my book is about that.
Okay.
Not as much as I could have written 2 books just about that.
Oh, another reason I want to read the book, because I mean I wasn't there in the
Oh, dude, you
probably
did.
in the I probably didn't go there until the mid '90s, I would think, but
Oh,
it's
you
got
gotta
a
get.
vibe.
I mean, like you'd see like Martin Sheen, fresh off of Apocalypse, in fatigues and a baseball bat, patrolling Halloween night so kids wouldn't egg the neighborhood. Or it was so amazing. And there was a real dark side,
Dark side, yeah.
in my junior high, which is now Malibu High School. It was a junior high when I went there. Out of 700 kids in the 3 years that I was there, 8 of them died. 8. Now, if that the Malibu podcast is called Lost Hills, by the way.
Cool.
If that happened today, eight kids in
man,
a
that's
junior
horrible. My
over
God.
3 years, and the weird freak accidents, like a guy like diving to free the lobsters, like an animal rights kid getting his hand stuck in the lobster trap and drowning, and
Wow.
I mean, and just it was really dark as well and weird.
Wow. And can you think of like how specifically have you ever pointed to something? Well, I guess obviously getting into becoming an actor and getting into the entertainment business, was anything specifically about that place and that childhood and your parents separating at that age that pushed you towards this gig that we do?
Well, because the aha moment for me that I wanted to do this happened back we were still living in Dayton when my parents took me to a community theater version. I can only imagine what that was like, of Oliver. And there were kids in it. And I just was like dumbstruck, like a caricature of the light of God hit me and the angels sang and and I was like, I want to do that. And I didn't know any better. I had no idea what that even meant, but I really wanted to do it. So by the time I got to Malibu, I already considered myself an actor. And
Okay, sure. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
And ironically, and the great irony is, in Malibu, nobody was acting. Here we are. Malibu might as well have been 800,000 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the
Yeah,
fact
you
that
don't really feel like you're in L.A. It's not a.
No.
It does not feel like an L.A. place.
No.
I mean, I'm sure it did.